everyone! How is it going? Hi, my family, Voice of Revival family. This is Tea Talks with Chelsey. That is me, your host for tonight. And this is what we do the Monday night, right after the Saturday night ladies revival panel night, which was amazing last Saturday. We always do a little deeper, a little more information for you. We go deep with one special lady from that panel on Saturday night. If you missed Saturday night and you're like, what in the world is she talking about? Well, if you go on Voice of Revival's Facebook page, you will see September 25th. What month are we? September 25th. You will see Ladies Revival Night, and you'll see a whole bunch of lovely ladies that joined me, and we ministered to you. We prayed for you. We gave you an encouraging word. We were there. We talked. We gave messages. There was hope. There was an altar call as well for people to who haven't accepted Jesus in their heart. There was a time for them too, and a time for rededication as well. And so it was so fun. We talked about embracing the season that you're in. You know, seasons change as they do outside, and so as our life changes too, we need to embrace the season that we're in, because sometimes we can actually miss what God is wanting us to learn through the season that we're in if we just rush and skip right through it. So embrace the season that you're in. And also, don't forget about stones of remembrance. This is what Krista Copel was actually talking about Saturday night, was stones of remembrance, and how before Moses parted the sea, they put a stone of remembrance, and then when they crossed it, they put another stone of remembrance, just so that they could remember what God did for them and what God will do again and again, because He is our provider, He is our comforter, He is there for us, and not just, our wish master. That is not who God is. He wants to have an actual relationship with you. He wants to be your friend. He wants to hear your heart and hear how is it going. That was my day today. I took an hour drive to go pick up my husband because he came back from the Arctic, woohoo, all in one piece, woo. And my drive to the airport was about an hour because of traffic and everything. And I was about to put the radio on, and God said, you know what? No, I want to spend some time with you. Come talk with me. How are you doing? And so I spent that hour just having a conversation. You're like, how do you have a conversation with God? Well, it's just this intimate moment where you get to be able to say the things that are on your heart that you think you're hiding from Him, but He knows anyways. It's just, He wants to hear it from you. And so you get to just talk to Him and say, this is how I'm feeling. God, I don't know what to do in this season. Things are happening. I have no control. Sometimes we have no control, and we just need to embrace the season that we're in. And then when it's God's turn to talk, I just be quiet and I wait. And I am peace, and I listen to His voice that's knocking on my heart. And that is how God speaks to me. God probably speaks to many different people in different ways, but that is how He spoke to me. And so I did that whole stone of remembrance. Like, God, I remember when you were there for me. I remember when you picked me out of the pit. I remember when all of these things I laid out before you, and you took care of each single one of them. That is who God is. And I love that. And so Saturday night, like I said, go check it out on Voice of Revival Facebook page for Ladies Revival Night. It's amazing. We had Krista Copel, we had Sarah Campbell-Schneider, we had Chelsey Seltzer, and we had Eli Plante, who is our guest tonight. I am so excited for you guys to hear all of the goodness that she does. Hi, Amy. Hi, Dawn from Texas. Hey, Krista. Woohoo. Hi, Jamie. Nice to see you. Kara, Lisa from Australia. This is so good, so good. Hello, Lisa. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, we have such a special guest on tonight, and with rich information that you don't want to miss. I mean, she has such a busy schedule, and so I'm so fortunate and honestly honored that she was able to open up her schedule to come and bless us with rich information that she has for you, because I'll just say she's a life coach, okay? And so there's so much that she'll unpack and let you know what that looks like, what that involves, how you can get connected with her as well. So we'll give you all that information. And she'll be able to give you some tricks and tips on and advice on what to do in certain situations. But honestly, she is just gold. And I'm so grateful that we have time here to be with her for about 30 to 45 minutes. Do you have 30 to 45 minutes of your time to receive and to participate? I see Ellie's online. Woohoo! Thank you, Jamie. You shared the link. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, please share this broadcast, because the more people that get to know different people in the world and what they do and what they offer, then the more resources are available for you at your fingertips, and resources that you can offer to your friends who may be stuck, who may not know what to do spiritually, mentally, or even physically. And you can be like, hey, I know this girl called Eli Plante. I remember listening to her and what she offers. And so here's her contact information. This is what Monday Night's about. Let you know all about my friends and what they do. And so I want to show you first the promo video for our Saturday night Ladies Revival Night. I'm so excited. I had it written down here, October 30th is our next Ladies Revival Night. And this is what you'll get. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. It's E-Revival Night. Isn't that powerful? That is so cool. I had some good friends who made that for us, because I've always wanted a little promo video. When Sammy was doing it with Ben and some other guys in the beginning of the pandemic, they had their own little video, and I said, hey, we need a video too. I kind of wanted the song, Yes, It's Ladies Night, but I don't think that was allowed. So I'm very happy with the outcome of that promo video, and that is for you. Very special. Without further ado, I am about to introduce my wonderful friend, Eli Plante. But first, let's hear a little bit about what she does.
I think being healthy is very specific to you and to what your needs are, your desires are, your history is, and just what your goals are in general. Obviously, being healthy for an athlete that wants to go to the Olympic look different than for a mom of 4 kids. And that's my passion. My passion is to actually find what you need specifically and to help you achieve that. So whether you're a high-level athlete or you're a super low-level couch surfer, this is for you. And whether you're someone that's a Christian, that's been a Christian for 20 years, or you're like, what the heck is a Christian? That's also for you. Whether you're the person that's disconnected from their heart or someone that will cry every second of their life, that's also for you. And my goal is to help you the best way I can to discover who you are and to discover who you are in a higher place of health in any of those 3 spheres or all those 3 spheres.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Hello, Ellie. Wasn't that awesome?
Hi. It is. I was like, wow, this is impressive.
And you made it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool when you're impressed with your own resource and your own things that you do. You're like, hey, I want that.
I was like, this speech is good. Plus, it was improvised.
So cool. Well, we have so many people here watching tonight. Ellie, I'm so glad you came. I know you're busy, but I'm so glad that you came and offered this time with us. And I told everyone to be ready for you because you are special and you've got so much to offer. So
Thank
why don't we
you.
just dive right in and see
Sure.
like where you're from, your upbringing, kind of get to know you as a person.
Yeah. So I'm from Montreal area in Quebec. That is why you're hearing a small, tiny accent or a big accent. It depends who's judging. I grew up in Saint Bruno, where I am currently, and I grew up there with my family. I'm the third child of 4 kids, and I grew up in a family, missionary family, but we're missionary in Quebec. So I grew up doing ministry in Montreal with at-risk children's, and that was kind of my passion. And at the same time, I also grew up doing a lot of outdoors, a lot of sports, and that's kind of where my passion for health came from. Probably because my mom, my family is interested in health, but also interested in ministry and serving God. So both of those things kind of made me into who I am. And then um when I became an adult, when I turned 18, I left Quebec and I went with YWAM in Central America. And then I did university with YWAM as well.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that began 7 years of traveling, doing ministry. In that, I did Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry for 3 years, and I also did my classes to be a fitness instructor. I coach. I did a lot of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, whoo, I'm tired.
Yeah, and I did a lot of other study, but currently I'm finishing my training as a life coach, and I've been back in Quebec for 2 years now. A year and a half of that has been COVID, so I'm kind of stepping into a new season of being here for the first time as an adult, I guess I can say, and just seeing what God has for me. I guess that's a little bit of my resume, but there's a lot I can share.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even know. I can hardly have time for watching a little show or something. I mean, like, you're amazing. You are kind of all over the place. And
Yeah.
I don't know, do you know Dawn?
No,
Dawn York?
no, I don't think so.
No? Well, she's very impressed, by the way. So just
Oh, thanks.
there you go. But yeah, no, that's amazing. And like, I know you through the church circles, and I was trying to think about the first time that we actually met, and I cannot for the life of me
It
remember.
it was in 2015.
Oh,
I
excuse me. You remember.
I remember it was after my first year at Bethel, and I decided not to continue. So I came back in the fall, and I got
Wow.
connected with you guys through Sabrina. And
Okay.
I had been gone for 3 years at that point. And when I came, I think came for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I left for Nepal and India.
Yes. Yeah, I actually wrote that down that you do a lot of missions trip. And
Yeah.
when was the last one that you did?
It was in Japan in 2019. Before,
And
well, it happened during COVID.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the gospel of God is never stopped by a pandemic, right? So,
Yeah.
anywho, enough about that. Well, I honestly was super impressed when you sent me that promo video. I was like, okay, I need some of this. Like, I
Oh,
need some of this stuff in my life. It's very inspiring. It was very uplifting. It was very encouraging that someone is out there caring about like needs that I may need to meet. And I'm very
yeah.
sure that there's people who are watching or who will watch or who will listen who are just like, I need this. I need to know how to get help, how to be unstuck, how to move forward from here to there. And so, why don't we dive into what your whole vision was for Ellie? Like, what is Ellie Wellness Coach? What is this?
What that is the fruit of all these things, random things that I did. And the
I love
point
it.
where I was like, okay, what am I doing? No, but seriously, I'm an ex-athlete, so I used to train high level until I was 18,
Wait.
and then
How high level? Come on, you gotta say this.
I mean, I competed on a national level.
In the Olympics.
No, I didn't compete in the Olympics.
Oh, for some reason. All right. I thought you did Olympics, but maybe
No.
you should. But
No. I
okay.
don't know how you got that, but
I don't know
that's
either.
okay. That's okay.
I just see you as an Olympian. There you go.
Yeah,
Save myself.
you believe in me that much.
Yep.
Definitely not at the Olympic level, but I train with people that are currently in the Olympics.
Okay.
So I was competing against them, but I wasn't as good as they were. Yeah, so I was a high level athlete, and that's where my passion for health came from, and my
Mm.
family inheritance as well. So I started coaching right when I stopped competing. So that was about over 10 years ago now. And that's kind of what triggered my passion to discover more of what it looks like to be healthy physically. And I had a lot of injuries as an athlete, which is why I stopped training, and I wanted to figure out why I was injured and how I could kind of step out of limitation physically. Um,
Mm.
and then in my history, there is, the history of being injured, and then also I wanted to learn how to coach people into greatness, even if they were not the most talented person, because that was my experience of being an athlete that wasn't the best, but that wanted to grow. And so I wanted to
Wow.
be a coach that was that for other people as well. And that's kind of
Right.
why I became a coach in the first place. And then in that process, there's the whole journey about loving my body that I didn't like, and then
Mm.
I tried a lot of things to lose weight, and then figuring out how to lose weight for myself, and then learning about nutrition. So it started with my own personal journey and wanting to learn more, but also I think from the place of need that I had, and that I
Yeah.
wanted to find the tools that to respond to some needs that I knew I had in the past, that I wanted to be able to give for people who could have them now, in the physical realm or in the sport sphere of.
Right.
So that's where that sphere of Ellie Wellness Coach came, because Ellie Wellness Coach is basically my business where I offer coaching spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So it started with the physical, and then spiritually I got trained at Bethel for 2 years and YWAM for 2 years. So I recognized that spirituality, and obviously being a Christian, like God and my relationship with God, plays a huge impact on my well-being. And I saw the fruit of that as well in my health,
Mm.
and in my personal life, and how being healthy with God, being aligned with the Bible, and growing with God, and actually
Wow.
connecting with God made me grow. So through learning how to be a pastor, basically, um, I wanted to create a place where people could have tools that brought them closer to God, but also a
Mm.
place where people who didn't know God could have answer without necessarily judgment, because I've I have a heart for the non-Christians. So I want to be someone who can talk with non-Christians without imposing my belief, but by actually talking about my experience, my truth, but also allowing them to have their opinion, their question, and kind
Right.
of be that, because uh, that consultant. And so my vision for spirituality as kind of two aspects, because I have clients that are non-Christians and I have clients that are Christians. And
Mm.
so that's why I wanted to have that, because I realized that I even if I was like super fit, if I wasn't connected with God, if I wasn't connected with the Holy Spirit, then I wasn't actually healthy.
Mm.
And yeah.
Wow, that is so powerful. Even if you were fit, but you were not connected to spiritually connected to God, you were still unhealthy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane because a lot of diets or things out there really just focus on food and
Yeah.
body. but they don't really focus on the inner. And some do, but it's more of a universal outlook,
Yeah.
whereas God is universe. Like,
Yeah.
God created universe. Right? He
Yeah.
created everything. He's not a small God, he's a huge God. So huge that he created the whole universe. And so putting all three of those aspects together really does solidify the whole being, the whole wellness of our
Yeah.
being. And
Yeah.
I love that you called it that way.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I need
Yeah.
to know, like, what a day in Ellie's life looks like. Because you do so much.
Yes. Well, before I go, I'm just gonna touch on the why I did the emotional
Yeah.
coaching. Yeah, because and I'm gonna do it quickly, but because
Don't worry, go for it.
I I got in touch with um well, with the emotional side when I stepped into Bethel, and I'm someone who's naturally very good at disconnecting and just doing things. And
Mm,
so I would say like that aspect of like life coaching, and I did a certification in counseling as well before that, like was way more uncomfortable for me than like fitness or spirituality. But
mm,
God told me like if you don't know your identity and you don't love yourself, like that's going to show in fitness and that's going to show in your spiritual life as well.
yeah.
And for me it showed, and so I went on my own journey of actually healing and becoming healthy on an emotional level. And
Yeah.
that's when I actually like started to lose weight, and a lot of injuries left my body when I started to get healing emotionally.
Huh.
True Bethel, but like so there was a spiritual aspect to it. But I kept the same training, the same nutrition for like the last 10 years. There's been change, but relatively the same. But it's when I started to do spiritual and emotional healing that all my injury left. Um, that's when I lost weight as well. And so I started to see a really direct correlation between sport and performance in sports, overall physical health, how you eat, how you process food, how you get motivated, how your spiritual life is, and your emotional world. And so I
Wow.
wanted to know, how do I get the tools to help people in that journey? Because I would have clients that in fitness, and I would be like, your issue is not really that you're eating ice cream, your issue is that you have a trauma or your issue. and,
Mm,
and so I would be able to see beyond that. And that's why I wanted to create an avenue where if people just want to be coached, physically they can, but where I have the tools to help people in all these ways. And I can
right.
actually, provide a service that's like fully complete to bring people into health, because I don't think health is just being fit, or I don't think health is just praying all day. And an extreme in just one of these area is not being healthy. I find like if you're just praying and you're eating crap and you're not moving, then you're probably not healthy. And if you read the Bible, it says take care of your temple. So also reading the Bible, I was seeing like, yeah, like I need to take care of my heart, like
That's right.
love yourself as you love your neighbor. And it's like, but we're so disconnected even in church or in the sport world, and it's changing. But it's like, don't listen to yourself, just push yourself, when in the Bible it talks about, love yourself. Like, what does that look like? What does it look like to listen to your body? Well, if you don't love your body, or if you don't love your heart, and if you're not in tune with your emotions, how can you figure out what your body needs? And
That's
how
right.
can you connect with God? So it's all intertwined. But it all came out of my journey.
I love what Dawn said here, getting to the root of the issue, because that's basically what that is you were saying, I've experienced some pain when I have ice cream, but then you're able to discern and say, actually, I really feel like trauma has come into your life. And now
Yeah,
when let's deal with that, I'm sure if you go ahead and have some ice cream, you'll be fine. So I think I
yeah.
need to see you, because every time I have ice cream, it's not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I mean, and it's real, and I still have those things where I'm like, "Oh, this is probably unhealthy," but people don't necessarily understand their mechanism,
Yeah.
and they don't necessarily have people who are interested in asking them the questions for them to find the answer of why they're experiencing what they're experiencing, and that's kind of what I want to bring, and that's what life
So
coaching
good.
is too. It's asking question, and how do you get where you want to get, and why are you not getting there? And sometimes we're in a world where we're used to being told what to do, and that's why I love the life coaching I do when I have coaches that are Christians.
Yeah.
I bring them to ask Jesus question, and that's when they get their real revelation of why they're facing what they're facing. And of course I direct them because I've been trained to do that.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
yeah.
That's why you got your certification, is you
Yeah.
know how to direct the people in that way. And so,
Mhm.
like, with this information about like what you do with everybody, what does a typical day like that look like for you?
Yeah. Well, right now my full-time job, I coach for a ski club full time. So I spend a lot of time.
That's in Quebec.
That's in Quebec. Yeah.
Right. Quebec,
Yeah.
we have snow.
Yeah. And so I train athletes, so we train pretty much all year round. And I am in charge of a sports study program. So normally in the morning, I wake up and I'll spend time with God, like praying and doing like more of my own things. So
Yeah.
I'll pray, I'll journal. Sometimes I work out in the morning, but my own workout varies depending on the day. And then that's often also when I create either like a post or a video. And I'm still in the process of figuring out how to do that. But I'll try to go between like more spiritual post, more emotionally not emotional, but like more on emotional health post,
Right.
and a post that's more towards sports. I have more posts that are geared towards sports because I have
Yeah.
sponsors in sports on my social media. But I spend time like kind of thinking about that a little bit often in the morning. And then I have all my clients in the morning or in the evening. So I have clients, usually at least one client per day, either the morning or the afternoon. And then sometimes I'll spend time working on a training plan, or like today, I spend sometimes planning like all the schedule for the competitions that are coming. And then
Wow.
I leave around 1 to go coaching, and I come back around 6. And then I was meeting with an athlete a little bit right before this, and then I think I spent time cooking before that. So it varies. So it's coaching, meetings, and then my own personal things. And I worked out as well
Right.
after work.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And you have friends too.
Yeah. But like, yeah. During the week it varies because sometimes I see my boyfriend, sometimes I see my friends. But I always have like time with Jesus, journal. I always work out, time to eat, and then creative time, usually meetings, and then I'm coaching people actually face to face, usually the athletes that I coach.
Right. And do you do like coaching on Zoom as well? Like if someone who's
Yeah,
watching here and doesn't live here,
yeah,
they
I
do
do.
just
That's
do Zoom.
most of my clients are on Zoom.
Oh, cool. Okay. So
Yeah.
so everybody, if you're listening and taking notes, she does Zoom. There's no excuse. This is what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at, is that there is no excuse for taking care of us. If we
yeah,
do need that extra help, then why not?
yeah.
Right? And why not Ellie? She speaks amazing English, so if you're not from Quebec and you don't speak French, it's okay. She's there
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, so most of my clients I meet online, and then some just want a plan, like a training plan or a nutrition plan, but some actually I follow up with. So I
Right.
meet them quite frequently, and then on top of that, I have a lot of messages I reply to, and yeah,
Ah!
I coach Sarah Eve. Oh, she's so sweet.
That's so good. Look, you getting some support.
Oh,
Share to your friends, Sarah, so everybody can hear.
oh,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Really, really cool. I love this. This is so good. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to go back to some of the other questions I had wanted to do. But since we're on this topic, let's just say someone has sessions with you and they're stuck. Like their passions are stuck. They're stuck in a rut. They don't want to get up and like they're stuck with their exercises. They're stuck with their eating and they're just mentally and spiritually kind of feeling like they're dead or stuck. Can you give us like some little bit of like how you would handle this person? Just a mini example.
That's a good question. Usually someone that's stuck, which is most of my clients, they're stuck in a way or another. I'll try to have them recall the first time they felt that sense of being stuck, or the last time they remember feeling unstuck. And then kind of remembering like how they felt at that moment and what was happening there. And from there, I kind of try to retrace of what's happened. Most people at that point already know. They're like, oh yeah, for example, something happened here, or I had an accident, therefore I stopped training, or I had, and so, and then I go from there and I ask questions. Normally I'll ask questions of like, what do you want? Or there'll be more open questions like, what does and I'll go often to the root of what the person desires deep down. What do you desire? Do you desire comfort? And as you found comfort in sitting down, okay. So what can you take, for example, or what can you do to be motivated? And then I'll have people actually sit and think about things most people don't actually think about thinking about, like they won't take the time to sit and think. And then I'll have them make an action plan and I'll ask them like, what can you do? And sometimes, because sometimes people even will have that sense of pressure of like, I need to impress me, and be like, yeah, I'll do everything. And I'll be like, okay, like, what do you feel like? And I'll let people really take the time to connect with themselves and figure out what happened. And often I don't have to say much. People, as they're reflecting, find their own answers as I direct them.
Right. That's so key, is the fact that you're empowering them.
Yeah.
You're not telling them what to do. You empower them and they get to figure it out with you. That's so amazing. Yeah, I'm going to call you.
But I would say, oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say like, okay, everybody who is watching, make an appointment with Ellie.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously.
I was going to say, often when people are really stuck, I'll have them it's often stuck emotionally, even if it's has to do with fitness. It's like there's something that there's a fear or and I'll have them think of a situation where Jesus felt what they could feel, because I'll have them identify what they feel when they feel stuck, or when they're in that place of not being able to move towards what they're wanting to move towards, whether it's physical or something else. And then I'll ask them like, where do you think Jesus has felt that? And then they'll usually, if they're Christian, if they're not Christian, I'll use other tools, and then they'll think about where Jesus felt that, and I'll have them kind of connect with Jesus in the compassion that Jesus has. And often that opens up for kind of a breakthrough inside of them, for them to actually want to step into moving somewhere else.
Right. That's the point, is that you help them reach to the point of breakthrough.
Yeah.
You're basically like, here is the wall, here's the hammer, let's go at it together. That is so beautiful. So beautiful.
Because people often, they feel stuck, even people that want to train physically, because they have unprocessed like emotions, or they've experienced something and they need to be met with compassion, and they need to be met with understanding before they can move into like some type of level of, discipline.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, you said the word discipline. Ooh. Oh man, we have to embrace those words.
Yes.
I have a question for you. Well, I have
Yes.
many, but what is the most important thing that you've learned since starting this life coach journey?
Wow, that's a good question.
I have many of them.
I think I would say I've learned as a life coach, but even as a coach, to follow my intuition, which
Mm,
for me looks like the Holy Spirit a lot, but not always. But to follow my intuition, because sometimes as a life coach, I'll want to follow the like rules, but often when I follow my intuition in listening to people, the that will kind of guide me to um to ask better question, or to actually understand what's going on a lot more, that if I'm listening trying to figure out where to go next.
yeah. Because you can get stuck trying to
Yeah.
figure out where to go next.
Yeah, well, I can be listening to you and think, okay, next I'm gonna ask this question, and we're gonna go get to this point. When I follow my intuition and follow the person, and where they're leading the conversation with their story and what they're sharing, then I'm kind of letting go of control, and it's a little bit more scary, but
Mhm.
usually I'm seeing a lot more fruit from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. When you let go of control, there's
Yeah.
more fruit.
Yeah.
Woo, there's some fire on that one. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Take it all in there.
Yes.
I hope you guys are taking notes because I am. Here's my pen. I'm taking notes because honestly, there is so much good information here, and it's like it's very professional because I've seen you grow.
Very professional. I hope I'm trying.
You're doing a good job. No, but from when I've seen you, 2015 apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did. But like from the time that I've seen you, that's 6 years in developing, and every once in a while when we hook up, I'm always like, "Hey, how's it going? What's this new thing now?" And it's not like a new thing, but it's you're advancing and going for the more in what you're loving and embracing, which is life coach, like for mental, for physical and spiritual, the whole kit.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just see like you develop and blossom, and I just see it's very professional. It's not just put together last minute. Like you're
Yeah.
very professional, Ellie.
Oh,
This is
thank you.
good.
I've thought of this for a while before launching it. Let's just,
Yes, you have.
I'm not an impulsive person. Uh,
Nope. um,
Thank
how
you.
about this one? Like, because you coach a lot of young ones too, like a
Yeah.
lot of younger teenagers, I would say maybe
Yeah.
12 years old and a little bit. But if you were one of them,
Mm.
what would you as a coach tell your younger self?
If I was an athlete
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
mm, I think I would tell myself to just relax. But I would tell myself that I think I'm loved, because as an athlete, and that's a sad reality, this feeling that you're loved only if you perform.
Mm.
Um, and I think I would tell myself, like, hey, you're loved and you're doing good. Because I
Mm.
always trained with that pressure of like, I need to do more. And I felt a lot of shame when I wasn't doing good. And I thought, like, because I competed high level, but I wasn't the best. So I remember thinking like coaches can't like me because I'm not the best one. And I was also bigger
Uh-huh.
than most girls in my sport. I wasn't big, but I was bigger. And so I felt a lot of judgment that I probably put on myself. And I think I would tell myself, like, just validate myself, like, hey, you're beautiful and you're really strong, and you're doing good, and encourage. And my coach did encourage me. Like, it's not like she didn't encourage me, but I think I had this belief in my mind that I could only have love when I did well. So that put a lot of pressure on me as a young teenager.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy, eh? We need
Yeah.
to, especially us ladies, we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And as we grow older, we become just a little bit more hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
But then
Seriously.
when we come to a point where we realize that this is the way I'm made, and I'm
Mm,
going to accept the way I'm made,
yeah.
And I wish I learned this lesson a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other ladies who I've spoken to about what would you tell your younger self, who I've actually interviewed here, and a lot of them said I would tell myself that you got this, that you're okay,
Yeah.
that you're worth it, that you're beautiful, that
Yeah.
don't worry about all those other things. And it's so
Yeah.
so true. We need to speak life into the younger generation. It's so good. You have a question here from actually someone that's watching. Do you coach older people?
Yes, I do. I've coached all ages. I have clients that are older.
Yeah. So there you go, Lisa. Get ready. You are going to have the time of your life. There's going to be some change for you, girl. Let me tell you, when you hook up with Ellie, get that going. I'm telling you, she's going to help you through your breakthrough, because I know that it works. I know that she's good at this. This is
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying thank you to all the compliments you're giving.
Right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to just embrace it. So, of course, with all of the lavishing and compliments I'm giving you, there obviously have been some mistakes or any regrets that we've done in our lives, right? So, if there's anything, like, has there been a mistake that you did that you're just like, oh, I regret that, and then you had to go and fix it? Like, if you were coaching someone, or even if anything like that.
I would say I've made more mistakes in fitness, like in physical coaching, but I think even in spiritual coaching, I think both. I would say with spiritual coaching, a mistake I've made is to like assume what God wanted of people from my own experience of like, oh, if you do this, like God will bless you like that. And it wasn't always like a biblical fact. It was more of a personal truth than a biblical truth. So instead of letting people have their own experience of what their truth would be with God in their relationship, I would be like, yeah, like if you do this, God will bless you in this way. And so I wouldn't say I regret that, but I would say I wouldn't do that anymore. And
because we learn from these mistakes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And it's like, we're not perfect human beings, but it's interesting that's the regret that you're wanting, because we do that. It was like, my experience should be your experience too,
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it's not actually that it's the case, right?
Yeah. But otherwise, I would say when I started coaching, I was young and I felt really sometimes inadequate, and I had athletes that were hard to coach because they weren't listening. And I think I would have stood my ground for my value a lot more than I did at that point, in terms of like some athletes would be, I don't know, like insulting each other, and I'd be like, please stop. And then they'd be like, oh, you are blah, blah, blah. And I was like 17. And there would come a point where I would just be like, whatever. And I think I regret not standing for like my value in things that I do now stand for. And I think I didn't feel confident enough, or maybe I was afraid I would lose my job if I did. But there's things I saw like ethically that I wasn't for, and I didn't say anything about it because I was like, oh, and it was really driven by fear, or other coaches talking to athletes in a way that I disagreed, and I didn't say anything. And I think those are more of my regrets, where I didn't like stand and say like, hey, you shouldn't talk like this, or this is unhealthy. And I think I regret a little bit conforming to what the like norm, when I don't think that's what I'm called for. And
Yeah. No, that is so good. That's, oh my goodness, it's so powerful, eh? These young little chicks, or these or the old hens. Like, it's powerful when you can speak life into them, and and from your experience too, that you're learning through your mistakes, but also growing and knowing what not to do and what to do. So it's very powerful, and I love your testimony. And I know that we're really going close to a long time here, so I want to get in one more question for you. If you can give 3 advice to the listeners, or when they're looking for a life coach, like what sort of things should they look for when they're looking for a life coach for their life?
Ellie, wellness coach. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. No, I'm so glad you said that. Those are 3 advice, guys. Ellie, wellness coach. Point final.
Point final. In a life coach, I would say, well, first of all, like, you want someone who's able to listen well. That's a basic thing, but someone you feel like that you feel validated by, and a good life coach can do that. But if you're not connecting with them, like, you might not feel validated by them, and that's okay. So there needs to be a level of chemistry, I would say, with your coach. Even, and that doesn't mean they're not good if you don't have chemistry, but that just is a fact. And I mean, I'm coached by all the people I train with, and some people they're doing all the same things, but I just don't have chemistry. And even when I'm practicing being coached by them, I just don't feel as comfortable. And so I would say is like, don't hesitate to, if you're having one meeting and not feeling that chemistry, to like try someone else. Then I would say, if you're a Christian, find a coach that brings you back to Jesus. Like, that points you back to God, points you back to the Bible, and that kind of points you back to like biblical truth. Normally a life coach is not someone who'll tell you what to do, but who will encourage you towards something. So I would encourage, a life coach that points towards God if you're a Christian. And if you're not a Christian, I would encourage to find a life coach that will respect, the things that are important to you, whether it's in your value and all of that, but that would also point to that. So, you don't necessarily want someone who challenges your belief in life coaching. You want someone who challenges, why you're doing what you're doing, and they might challenge your beliefs, that keeps you from moving towards something. But you don't want someone who will, challenge you believing that, I don't know, like that God is alive or stuff like that.
Yeah. I love that.
And thank you. I would say find a life coach that you find inspiring, like, and you might not see their life, but like that when they speak, they're able to be vulnerable with you, and they're able to be consistent in how they are towards you, and that you find that they are inspiring. It depends what you want to be coached in, but I would say, like, if you want to be coached for a relationship, like, find someone who has inspiring relationship. And I'm coaching in aspects I've trained in, and I'm definitely not perfect, but I have an history in those things. Like, I wouldn't coach someone on a marriage necessarily. I could, because I have tools, but I probably wouldn't be as good as someone who's a coach specialized in marriage. So find someone who has some type of
specialty
credential,
in what
in what you're wanting to be coached in. I mean, that's a bonus, I would say. but if you're looking at your coach's life and you're not inspired, I mean, it's probably not a good sign.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
you have to feel connected with the person that you're with, like you said, chemistry, because you're not going to receive from them, and there's always going to be this awkwardness between the two of you. So I agree, like, chemistry is huge.
Yeah, and there needs
you
to
have
be
a fan,
trust.
by the way.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's been so much stuff. I can go on and on and on, because I love you. And you're a good friend.
I love you too.
I want you to take 1 minute. Just take 1 minute. This is you, girl. Like, sell yourself. Sell yourself. No, tell people why they need this. Why do they need to come with you?
Well, I think you need life coaching or physical coaching or spiritual coaching if you want to grow in your life. Because life coaching is about bringing you to that neutral point of life to actually go higher. And I don't think anyone wants to stay in that neutral place in life. So that's my job. It's to bring you higher, whether spiritually, physically, or just in other aspects of life. On top of that, my first initial meeting is free. So, I mean, there's not much to lose than to book for that. And I would say you're not.
Did you hear that? Free for the first one. Okay, sorry.
And the result you're gonna get from being coached are gonna profit you more than if you were not coached. And I'm talking health wise, I'm talking energy wise, I'm talking relationally wise, and I'm talking even it can be financial depending on what you're being coached in. So you will see results and it will profit you on the long run in your life. And it's an investment I would say everyone should take. Because I do it. I'm still being coached, by the way. I'm a life coach, but I have life coaches and counselors. So like that's just a way to live free and fully. And I think once you've tasted that, and if you guys are watching and you haven't tasted that, then you should taste it, because it's way better to live free and to live fully and to live not on that neutral place, but to live higher and moving towards something. And my job is to help people do that and to help them move towards what they want to move towards. And
yeah,
and some people don't have the community to encourage them, and I'm that for people. I'm going to be there to encourage you. I'm going to be there to remind you of your goals and to give you actual tools to move towards what you want. So yeah, you should contact me.
That's right. And how can they contact you?
You can go on my website, www.ellieplante.com. And you can also go on my social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook called Ellie Wellness Coach as well. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, all under the name Ellie Plante, except on Facebook, it's Ellie Wellness Coach. And from there, you're all going to be linked to my website as well to book. So there's many ways in which you can reach me, but there's not many Ellie Plantes that do my work. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so good. And I'm very impressed that you got a .com. Just by the way.
Thank you.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Wow. This has been so amazing. Like, okay, so I hope you all heard that, because you said that you get your first one free, right?
Yes.
That's what you said, right? I don't want to say something that's not going to happen.
No, it's true. Yep.
First one is free. Okay. So if you're listening and this is like, your heart's like, oh, I really need this, like, this is going to really help. Like, why not try? You know, it could be the very next thing that you need to get that breakthrough. Like, you know, but instead of just sitting and doing nothing about it, this could be this opportunity that you take, you embrace, you just go through. Take this time of your life to do it. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You have everything to gain to do this with Ellie. So take this leap, take this jump, and do it with Ellie. I love you, girl. You're awesome.
I love you too. Thank you. So are you.
Oh my goodness. This is so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's been a long time. So we're going to say bye to Ellie right now.
Bye. Thank you.
It's been a good time with you. So I'm going to put you in the back room.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh my goodness. This is good. This is good stuff. This was good. I hope you were listening from the beginning. I mean, so good that look at my makeup. It smeared on my face. This has been good stuff, because it's your time to break through in some areas of your life that need to be broken through. There are people out there who feel stuck. If you're someone that feels stuck, if you're someone that feels like that you have goals, you have passions, but you don't know how to reach them, Ellie Plante, www.ellieplante.com. It's in the comments. I wrote it out there for you. Check her out. The first session is free. It does not hurt to get a little extra help, you know? All we need is help. And we can't live this life alone. So, yes. Yes, Jerica, it's not good to be stuck in the past all the time. So, we want to move forward. We want to have the best is yet to come actually come to pass. Instead of just saying it's going to come, we actually want to live it out. And so, if this is you and this is burning in your heart, that you know that you have goals, you know you have passions, but you're just stuck. Like Jerica said, you're stuck in the past. Eli Plante will help you get out of there and guide you. She's not going to do it for you. She's going to empower you to do it so that you do it, not her, you. And she's there to guide you through the whole way. This has been a very beautiful, rich session, episode, time, whatever you want to call it. I am so glad I do these nights. This is Tea Talks with Chelsey on Voice of Revival platform. We're good friends with Sammy and Kristen Robinson. We're amazing friends. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I am going to leave you with her promo so that you can really get what she is all about. We will see you October 30th on Ladies Revival Night. Good having you here. Thank you so much for joining. Later, everybody.
I think being healthy is very specific to you and to what your needs are, your desires are, your history is, and just what your goals are in general. Obviously, being healthy for an athlete that wants to go to the Olympic look different than for a mom of 4 kids. And that's my passion. My passion is to actually find what you need specifically and to help you achieve that. So whether you're a high-level athlete or you're a super low-level couch surfer, this is for you. And whether you're someone that's a Christian, that's been a Christian for 20 years, or you're like, what the heck is a Christian? That's also for you. Whether you're the person that's disconnected from their heart or someone that will cry every second of their life, that's also for you. And my goal is to help you the best way I can to discover who you are and to discover who you are in a higher place of health in any of those 3 spheres or all those 3 spheres.